here at the Reagan Athletic Complex for more Eureka Red Devils volleyball. I'm Matthew Swan.
And I'm Ella Walker.
And tonight it'll be the Red Devils and the Griffins going head-to-head. Eureka lost to Westminster last time out on the road, but there is no need to shy away from this Red Devils team as they have moved up to 4th place in the SLIAC standings.
So despite that loss against Westminster, we did play in a tournament on Saturday, and we also played in UW. And this Red Devils offense really showed what they were all about at that game, I think. They were sitting at 43 kills and 48 assists. So offensively, that's phenomenal for the Red Devils.
That's right. And like you just said, we've been playing really well offensively. Haley Gauna and Alyssa Company continue to shine, as Company leads the SLIAC in kills per set at 3.33, and Gauna continues to lead the SLIAC in hitting percentage at 364.
Yeah, and also this Fontbonne team, they have some really good hitters on their side of the ball. Kristen Camp, she has had 98 kills in this season so far, so the Red Devils definitely need to be looking out for her in this coming game.
That's right, and as we get ready to get things underway, we're going to cut to break. Stay tuned, this will be an exciting one to see. You're watching Eureka Red Devils volleyball here on ECTV.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
When people ask us who we are, we tell them we're problem solvers, opportunity creators, community builders, and change makers. We are Rotary. Around the world, our network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, and leaders volunteer their skills, expertise, and resources to solve issues and address community needs. We are people of action. Join us, and together, we can make an even greater impact. Find out how you can get involved at rotary.org/action.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Welcome back. As we get ready to get things underway, we're going to first send it down to the floor for starting lineups.
Number 4, Peyton Seibert. Number 9, Riley Watson. Number 12, Piper Fitzgerald. At libero, number 13, Emma Harrop. Number 14, Jordan Harple. Number 16, Kristen Kempfe. And number 36, Kelly Overturf. The Griffins are coached by Jimmy Styka. Now let's meet the starting lineup for your Eureka Red Devils. At libero, a freshman from Emden, Illinois, number 4, Chloe O'Donohue. A senior from Evansville, Indiana, number 5, Brooklyn Shell. A junior from Delavan, Illinois, number 11, Claire Schaffner. A senior from Arcola, Illinois, number 14, Hallie Ghana. A freshman from Lincoln, Illinois, number 16, Alyssa Company. A junior from Benson, Illinois, number 17, Franny Heckman. And a junior from Abingdon, Illinois, number 20, Malia Nagel. The Red Devils are coached by Candace Van Bogart.
And welcome back as we get ready to get things underway. As usual, both teams high-fiving at the net. And, I mean, the first thing that stands out to me is how small that this Griffins team is. I mean, we know Eureka as a very small school, only about 500 students in total. And surprisingly, we out on the floor, we seem to have more players than Fontbonne does at the moment.
Yeah, and we also were talking about this. They're veteran team over there. There are a lot of juniors and seniors on that side, and part of that is because of that closure that is happening here soon for Fontbonne, sadly.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of leadership that's going to be shown on this Fontbonne side tonight. As you just mentioned, most of the team are filled with seniors, so that'll be interesting to see how they work together and kind of communicate with each other throughout this one, but we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, but I think that's also really exciting to see because these girls probably have been playing together for the past 4 years, so getting to see that chemistry that they've kind of built up along with the juniors and sophomores who are mixed in there, I think that'll be really cool to see and really exciting.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a story to remember. But for now, both teams out on the floor, getting ready to get things started here. And the last home game for the Red Devils was against Webster University. The Gorlocks and the Red Devils faced each other, and that was a very exciting matchup.
Yeah.
We talked about it over and over, but for now, it'll be Kemfrey who serves, and that one goes out of bounds. That was off of the hands of Company. So to start off the game, the Griffins will grab the first point. And it'll be Kempy once again into her routine. Kempy serves this one over, kept up by O'Donohue. Schaffner in the middle, outside, Nagel over, kept up there by Fitzgerald. This one's hit over, and it finds a hole in between the lines. So that one's going to be another point for the Griffins, and they have an early 2-0 lead to start off this one in set number 1.
What a great read there by Harpole. She put it right in that corner.
That's right. Kempy over once again. Company. Schaffner back sets to Company, who produces a big hit there. Is able to get that one off of the hands of one of the Griffins, and it'll head out of bounds, so the Red Devils have their first point of the night. It'll be Lexi Lira-Mattis at the line of service. Hits it over there. This one outside. Diving Lira-Mattis keeps that one up. Outside once again. Kept up there by Siebert. Company back sets to Shell. That one's blocked. Kept up by Lira-Mattis over the net. Kept up there by Nagel. Shell to Schaffner, who floats it over. Kept up there. Red Devils trying to reset. Shell with a floater, kept up. Another floater, and Lira-Mattis attempts to get that one, but it falls just off of her hands. So after a lot of back and forth in that sequence, it'll be the Griffins with a 3-1 lead. Now taking over to serve for the Griffins, it's going to be Maddie Bach. This one Kept up there by Shell. Schaffner in the middle once again. Unable to get that one down is Company. Big hit there from Og, and that one is out of bounds. So the Red Devils gain their second point of the night. And it'll be a SLIAC leader for the Red Devils to serve. Alyssa Company, who we name quite often, hits it over there. Hit in the middle, big hit by Harple that was blocked. But it is off of the hands of one of those Red Devils out on that floor and out of bounds. So once again, the Griffins add a point to the score as they lead it 4-2. Harple, who was just involved in that play, is now taking over. Good serve there. And Shell believed that was going to land out of bounds, but by the time she turned around, she watched that ball fall right in between the lines, and it'll be another point for the Griffins. Harple trying to continue what she's done up to this point. Line drive of a hit there, kept up by Shell, and what a play, what a great read there. I believe that was Kelly Overturf. Schaffner watched that one go over because of how strong the hit from the back was, and Overturf able to just knock that one down. So another point for the Griffins as Harple just serves that one directly into the net. So the Red Devils will get the volleyball as they trail by 3 early on here in set number 1. And this one is going to be Beck for the Red Devils. As we mentioned before, Beck in her freshman season. Good serve there. That one's kept up by Bach. Hit to the outside. Big hit there. And that one is going to be a point for the Griffins. So that's a great play from Og to get there in time and time that one up perfectly. Griffins up 7-3. Good serve there. Kept up by Shell over the net. Back set there. Kemphy able to get that one to fall.
And I think that experience that we were talking about coming from a group of upperclassmen is really starting to show through. Like, we're seeing a lot of plays being made that are getting them those points and those big points, as well as putting stats on the sheet for the girls.
Yeah, that's right. And on that last play, that was Beck who dove for the volleyball, but unable to get there in time. So another point for the Griffins as they lead it 9-3 here early in set number 1. And at this point, I mean, we've always talked about on several occasions how the Red Devils seem to start to kind of fuel up, you know, in the middle of the set or maybe even late in the set. But right now, they're falling into that same category, and I think it's just a matter of just kind of, you know, getting back into it. And, you know, right now maybe they're just looking for that wake-up call that'll get them going.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that the Red Devils, they're coming off of, they haven't played since Saturday, so kind of finding their groove again, getting that momentum back up just against another team is a big factor.
That's right. And I believe that was a tournament, right? Those last 2 games.
Yeah.
So yeah, they split the tournament in 2 games, won a game, and they lost a game. So they split that tournament. But we did mention in the pregame that Eureka, who was supposed to come in 9th, according to the SLIAC preseason poll, actually moved up to 4th, as that one is Shell who floats it over, kept up there, unable to get that one to fall. Oh, with a big hit off of the hands of Lyra Mattis as it goes behind her and out of bounds. Another point for the Griffins as they lead it 10-3 here in set number 1. Watson with the serve. Company pushed it forward in the middle, but nobody was there in time. So once again, another point to add to the scoreboard for the Griffins as Watson once again kept up by Shell. Lyra Mattis up. Crafton hits it over, kept up there. Hit outside. Og once again with a big hit, kept up by O'Donohue. Shell on the outside with the floater, kept up there by Overturf. Big hit and out of the reach there of Beck. So that'll be another point for the Griffins. And they start to pull away here early in the first set as they lead it 12-3. Watson once again kept up by Shell. Beck Crafton outside, blocked. Lyra Mattis hits it up towards the middle. Beck calls it, hits it over. Kept up there by Harop. To the outside, big hit, and O'Donoghue to Shell to Gauna, kept it in play. Big hit there, blocked by Gauna. Another hit over, kept up by Lyra Mattis. Beck to the outside, Crafton hits it over. Kept up. A lot of back and forth here to the outside. Kemphy unable to get that down. Lyra Mattis outside to Crafton. And that one's going to be too strong. So as exciting as that is starting to get, unfortunately, the Red Devils are unable to execute and finish that one off. But for now, that'll be another point for the Griffins. 13-3 the score. Crafton, Shell. That one's blocked there. O'Donoghue up in the air. Beck hits it over. Kept up there to the middle. Big hit. And that one is out of the reach of Crafton. Or maybe just not ready for it. But for now, another point for the Griffins, 14-3. And not looking too good right now for the Red Devils. Hoping to pick that up as Shell keeps that up. Gauna in the middle with a big hit. And that one is able to fall. So the Red Devils finally back onto the, I guess I should say back in motion as they add their 4th point. But Brooklyn Shell will be taking over to serve for the Red Devils. Line drive of a serve there. Kept up by Watson to the outside. And that one is going to get down. So a great hit there. Another point for the Griffins. 15-4 is the score. And Og is going to take over to serve. Let's see how this one plays out. Oh, with a big hit, and that one is way too strong. It'll go out of bounds. Another point for the Red Devils as they get the ball back. And it'll be Chloe O'Donoghue, the freshman, to serve. O'Donoghue in her routine gets ready. Good serve there, kept up by Harop. To the outside, Kemphy unable to get that one down, and Crafton on the ricochet couldn't get that one over. So another point for the Griffins. And the Griffins proving that you don't need to have a large team to play well and win important games. Good serve there by Harop, and that one is off the hands of Heckman, and it'll go into the stands. Another point for the Griffins as they continue to pull away early here in set number 1.
And it seems like some of those mistakes that we were talking about early on in the season in the first couple of games, they're kind of coming back in. Like, I've seen a few that looked like miscommunications on the Red Devils, and there's been a decent amount of free points already, and I think that they just need to find that groove that they were in against Webster and MUW and just get back into that.
That's right. It's just all about the fundamentals. On that last play, though, that was Harop who hit it too strong out of bounds, and that one for the Griffins does get down. So after the Red Devils do get the ball back, they quickly turn it over again, and the Griffins lead at 18-6. This one is going to be Rhodes to serve for the Griffins. Kept up by Company. Schaffner in the middle, able to keep it up. And Company tried to get there in time, maybe get that floater over the net, but unable to do so. So another point for the Griffins. Kemphy once again to serve. Line drive, too strong. Red Devils add another point. That is their 7th of this first set. And they do get the ball back. So once again, Lexi Lyra-Mattis to serve for the Red Devils. Good serve there. Just able to fall, but not fall quite, but kept up. That one outside to Company, who floats it over. Kept up there by Fitzgerald to the outside. And that is Siebert unable to keep that one in between the lines. Another point for Eureka. Lyra Mattis goes at it again. Kept up there to the outside and out of bounds. So I guess maybe just deflected that one in the wrong direction. So another point for Eureka. Obviously, you'd like to see them come back here in the first set. Lyra Mattis proving she can do just that. Kept up in the air by Kempfy. Outside. Seibert with a big hit, and that one is off of the hands of one of the Red Devils players and goes way out of bounds. So the Griffins are the first to reach 20 points here in the first set. And it'll be the sophomore, Maddie Bach, to serve. Kept up by Shell, out of bounds. And if I'm being honest, that play just looked like a little bit of a lack of effort.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I thought the same thing.
Maybe just trying to get this first set over with and kind of restart. Have a fresh start, I should say. Bach back at it. O'Donoghue in the air. Schaffner back sets the company, who floats it over. Kept up there. To the outside. Big hit there by Og, and Lyra Mattis unable to dig that one out. Another point for the Griffins as they lead at 22-9 here in set number 1. So Bach is going to continue to serve. And that one is too strong. We've seen that a few times here tonight already. And once again, the Red Devils get the ball back. Trailing by 12, but Alyssa Company, who we talk about quite often, is taking over to serve for the Red Devils. There's that laser right there. Hit to the outside. Oh, big hit. Company able to keep it up. Schaffner outside the Shell, who floats it over. Kept up there. This one's hit over, and none of the Red Devils players were ready for that one. So a good read there. And it is now 23-10 in favor of Fontbonne. Now taking over to serve for the Griffins is Jordan Harpel, one of the many seniors on this team. Good serve there, kept up by Company. Schaffner in the middle to Lyra Mattis, who floats it over. Nice hit to keep it up, and a big hit. Let's see what the ruling on that is, and that one went out of bounds, so it will be a point for the Red Devils. That was close. It almost looked like that one hit the line.
Yeah.
I didn't know how they were going to call that, but luckily it is in our favor.
I think for the most part, if it is like clearly like the ball hits the middle of the line, like they're going to call it out. But if it's a little to the in or a little out.
That's right. As Beck serves for the Red Devils, kept up there. Hit to the outside. Oh, with a big hit. And into the crowd. I think that hit somebody down in those seats. So Company unable to keep that one in play. But for right now, the Griffins are 1 point away from taking set number 1. Good serve there. Kept up by Shell. Beck to Company. Big hit. That one's off of the hands and out of bounds. So that was Emma Harrop unable to keep that one in play. And the Red Devils gain another point and gain back the ball. So 24-12. Fontbonne leads in set number 1. It'll be Brooklyn Shell for the Red Devils to serve. Good serve there, kept up by Og. Hit in the middle, floater. Company keeps it up. Beck to Heckman, kept up there. Back set, Og unable to get that one over the net. Another point for the Red Devils. 24-13. Shell hoping to continue this great sequence of serving. Spinning the ball. Line drive off the hands of Og. Kept up by Harrop. Outside. Hit over. Heckman able to keep it up. Beck back to Heckman. Off the hands there. Kept in the air. Hit to the outside. Og with a big hit. Company finds room. And Crafton maybe misjudged where that ball was going to land. So that one does get down. That'll be the 25th and final point for the Griffins in set number 1. 25-13 is the final here in the first set. And as usual, both teams switch sides. And this is where it gets really dangerous.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later. For now, we're going to cut to break. You're watching Eureka Red Devils Volleyball here on ECTV.
There's nearly 678,290,000 kids under 5 around the world. But what's so important about being 5? A lot, it turns out. Children who live to age 5 are twice as likely to reach adulthood. That's why vaccines matter so much. For 40 years, Rotary and partners have delivered vaccines globally. Like here, and even here. Impressive, right? But 12.5 million children are still totally unvaccinated. Rotary knows we can find them. Because when Rotary and Indian vaccinators looked for families at bus and train stations, used motorbikes, and trekked house to house, they lowered polio cases by 94%. See, it can be done, and the results are worth it. Let's ensure that all children grow up safe from preventable diseases.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Welcome back to ECTV. You're watching Eureka Red Devils volleyball. So the Griffins took set number 1 by a score of 25-13. But before we cut to break, I mentioned how this is where things are going to start to get dangerous as Fontbonne finds themselves standing right in front of the Eureka student section. So we saw how that went last home game against Webster, and we're hoping to see that same exact thing here.
Yeah, it's never a fun time. That student section, they get very loud very fast, especially if this Eureka Red Devils volleyball team starts to get up. It gets very loud in this gym, and being on that side of it is not, I can imagine it's not that fun, and it's very hard to focus and hear your teammates talking.
Yeah, there is no control over them once they start to get into things, but I mean, if it works for us, it works. So.
Exactly. It's all we can hope for.
So for now, as we get ready to start set number 2, the Red Devils will begin with the volleyball, hoping to gain an early lead, which we haven't seen a lot all season, is just starting off ahead, except for that one time against Webster last home game. But it'll be Claire Schaffner to serve. Good hit there. That one's kept up to the middle outside, and that one is too strong from Seibert. So the Red Devils do get the first point of set number 2. Schaffner's going to go back at it. Line drive of a hit there, but too strong. I thought that one was going to fall just in time, but unable to do so, and it is all tied up at 1. We did mention how small this Fontbonne Griffins team was, and I did mention it slightly. They don't care. You know, they're here to win. They don't care how many players they have, and they're just proving that you don't need a big team to win important games. His company hits that one out of bounds on that last play to give the Griffins a 2-1 lead. But one thing we didn't talk about in the pregame is how if the Griffins beat the Red Devils here tonight, they're going to surpass the Red Devils in the SLIAC standings, which obviously is the last thing we want. Og in the air, kept up by Shell. Heckman over, kept up there by Harpel. To the outside, Harpel once again. That one's hit into the net by the Red Devils. So, unfortunately, the Griffins continue to stay on their hot streak and lead at 3-1 here in set number 2.
And I think one of the great things about this Red Devils team is we have seen them come back from the big losses in sets. So if they did lose that first set, you can't count them out yet because there's always There's at least 5, or at most 5 sets in a volleyball game, so you can never count them out.
That's right. This one to the middle, almost down, but actually that one is off of the hands of Schaffner. So unfortunately, the Red Devils are unable to keep that one in play. While you were talking, O'Donohue was able to keep one up that I thought was going to go out of bounds, but it was a laser of a hit, so maybe not enough time to react. To the outside, Og is blocked by Company, past a diving Bach, and the Red Devils get their second point of this second set and trail 4-2. So they will get the ball back. Lyra Mattis, once again, will be the one to serve for the Red Devils. Lyra Mattis doing a great job at serving so far and continues to do so. To the middle, big hit off of Schaffner and into the stand. So that will be a point for the Griffins, and they now lead it 5-2 here in the second set. Taking over to serve for the Griffins is going to be number 14, another senior, one of those many seniors on this Fontbonne team, Jordan Harple. Good serve there, kept up by Lyra Mattis. Schaffner back sets the Company, past Kempfy. 5-3, the Red Devils trail. Company will take over at the line of service. As we mentioned before, she actually leads Slyac in kills per set at 3.33 as she gets that one to fall. Red Devils only trail by 1 here in the second set. Company hoping to continue, but not before having to get rid of another ball that rolls on the field, down the court. Company with a line drive of a serve. This one's kept up by Watson. Over. Shell able to keep that up. Schaffner back sets. And that one is off of the hands of Kempfy into the Red Devils territory. That student section getting a little louder here as the Red Devils tie it up at 5 here in the second set. Company hoping to grab the lead for the second time here in this set. Good serve there, kept up to the middle. Outside, that one's past Company. Big hit by Overturf on that one to give the Griffins another lead, 6-5. Now it's going to be Watson serving, and that one just over the net. Lyra Mattis keeps it up. Company wasn't able to set her feet in time. That one actually went under the net. Company obviously frustrated, but able to laugh at herself, which is a good sign. Another serve just over the net. Schaffner to Gauna, kept up there by Harrop. To the outside, Kempfy, kept up by Company. Schaffner to Shell, who floats that one over. Ball still in the air. Outside, Lyra Mattis keeps it up. Hits it backwards to Schaffner. Company with the floater. And that one is off of the hands of Kempfy. And it is another Red Devils point, as they now trail 7-6.
You know, this is this Red Devils team that we've gotten used to seeing that works together, and they bring that energy, and you can start to feel it happening in here right now.
That's right. This one's going to be Beck to serve for the Red Devils, kept up there. To the middle, Watson. Outside, Og is able to get that one off of the hands of one of the Red Devils, and it deflects out of bounds. So another point for the Griffins, 8-6 here in set number 2. Og, who we just mentioned, serving for the Griffins. Lyra Mattis keeps it up. Company. Crafton able to get this one over. Kept up there by Seibert. To the outside. Big hit there by Kempfy. Company able to keep it up, though. And Shell able to find some space in between several of those Griffins players down on the floor. I mean, the storyline of this second set so far has just been the Red Devils being able to get within 1 point and not really able to execute up until that point. For now, Shell to serve. Good serve there to the middle. That one's over turf. Able to get that one to hit off of one of the Red Devils players and fall. 9-7, Griffins lead it here in set number 2. taking over to serve for the Griffins. Emma Harrop, the senior. Good serve there, kept up by Heckman. Beck to the middle, Gauna with a big hit. And that one drops 9-8 in favor of the Griffins. Hopefully O'Donoghue can kind of plan something out and execute that plan to get the Red Devils on top here in set number 2. Good serve there, kept in the air. Back outside. Seibert unable to get that one to fall. Beck outside to Heckman. Off of the hands there of Kempfy. Good hit there once again. Kempfy off the hands. That was, I believe, Company. But it does fall for another Griffins point, 10-8. And we're actually going in the opposite direction of what we wanted to see. But there's still a lot of time, or not time I should say, but there's still lots of room here in the second set for the Red Devils to come back as Kempfy serving. That is off Heckman. O'Donoghue calls it off, hits it over. Kept up there by Harrop. To the middle, past O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue unable to get that one in the air. Yeah, and I'll tell you, these Griffins have a lot of power on that team. Especially only having 10 players, that's pretty impressive. But not as impressive as this Red Devils comeback is about to be. To the outside, Seibert kept up by O'Donoghue. Nagel backsets to Crefton, off the hands, kept up there by Fitzgerald. This one's Kempfy who hits it over. O'Donoghue calling off Nagel. Crafton kept up there, floater over the middle, past the diving shell, and that one falls. So the Griffins now lead at 12-8. Not as bad as we saw in the first set, but they are starting to slightly pull away. It'll be Kempfy once again. Good serve there. Shell dives to keep it up. Back set there to Crafton. Kept up by Kempfy. Over to the outside. Crafton will have another shot, and this one goes out of bounds into the stands. So another point for the Griffins, and the Red Devils are going to take a timeout here as they trail by 5 here in set number 2. So the Griffins with 13, the Red Devils with 8.
I think this Fontbonne team, they're actually pretty underrated coming into this game. I mean, they look very good. And I don't know exactly who they have played so far this year, but I mean, they come in here, they look very well put together, they look very clean, they're executing all of their plays very well, so it's kind of hard to beat that.
That's right, and they did come off, coming into this one, they do come off of a win against Blackburn. They won that one in 3 straight sets, so, obviously on their side, they're hoping to keep up that momentum, and so far tonight, they've proved that they're doing just that. And yeah, actually, Fontbonne's next game too is actually against Eureka. So back-to-back games for Fontbonne, not for Eureka.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So what I found out was that it wasn't actually originally scheduled, but I do believe that the Red Devils had a game canceled.
Oh, so okay, that makes sense.
As that one coming from Kempfy is too strong, and after coming back from that timeout, the Red Devils are the first to grab a point. 13-9 as they get the ball back. It'll be Claire Schaffner to serve for the Red Devils. I really wish I filled up my water bottle before this. Schaffner getting ready to serve. Good hit. Kept up there by Harrop to the outside, and that one is directly into the net. So Harpel unable to get that one over, and the Red Devils back-to-back points as they now continue to trail by 3.
That was a great block there by Company.
Schaffner once again kept up by Fitzgerald to the outside, and that one into the net by Seibert this time. So the Red Devils are starting to make their comeback, which they are known to do, at least in the middle or even late in the set. Really living up to their name. Red Devils once again Getting ready to the outside. Seibert once again kept up by Shell. Schaffner outside. Heckman hits it over. Kept up by Fitzgerald. Over. Schaffner keeps it up. And that one is going to fall. Some miscommunication between a couple of those Red Devils players. It's never good when two of the players go for the ball at the same time. That's exactly what's going to happen almost every single time. So another point for the Griffins as Bach serves. Schaffner to the middle. Company is going to hit that one over. Diving is Harrop. Company once again. Set up there and unable to finish that execution. Another point for the Griffins, and they now lead at 15-11 here in set number 2. Bach hoping to keep up this game plan, kept up by O'Donohue. A little bit of a weird hit there. Nagel with a hit, and that one off of the hands of, I believe that was Bach who dove, and that one's actually out of bounds. So a point for the Red Devils. It'll be Lexi Lear-Mattis once again to serve. Nice little floater there, kept up by Bach. Outside, O'Donohue dives to keep it up, over by Lear-Mattis. Watson to the outside. And unfortunately, that one is going to be off of the hands of one of the Red Devils, and another point for the Griffins. 16-12 the score here in set number 2. Harpel serving for Fontbonne. Laser there, but too strong. Every single one of her serves so far, you could just almost like a straight line. But unfortunately, you do need some arc in the serve for it to at least stay in bounds. So another point for the Red Devils as Company with that same exact serve, although she's able to get it in bounds, keeps it in play. Schaffner calling it off to Lear-Mattis, who's going to have to hit it over. That one's still in play. Harrop to the outside. This one is going to get down in between the lines. And the refs finally decide that it will be a point for the Griffins. I guess just not paying attention on that play. Griffins lead at 17-13. Watson, good serve there, kept up by Shell. Schaffner in the middle, Gauna off the hands of Watson. Another point for the Red Devils.
And Gauna is just doing absolutely phenomenally this season. I mean, I think she had a total of 50 kills already in the season.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
And she's made 53 of the points for the Red Devils so far.
Watson hits that one over. Company back to Gauna with another big hit, kept up by Harrop. Outside, Company in the air. Back outside to Shell with the floater. Diving is Bach, who keeps it in play. And that one is hit by Og off the hand. Oh, excuse me, that actually is a point for the Red Devils. So they now trail only by 2, and they're starting to make their comeback once again here in the second set. Back, taken over to serve. Kept up there by Harrop. To the middle. Kept up by Company. Lear-Mattis outside to Shell, who hits it over. Actually into the net. And the Red Devils are starting to give up a few more free points, more than you like to see. So they now trail 18-15. This one's going to be Og, the junior. Laser of a serve there, kept up by Shell. Lear-Mattis to the outside. Crafton. That is blocked, so another point for the Griffins. Og hoping to continue this little hot streak she has going at that service line. And Shell does turn, thankfully, because that one goes out of bounds. So another point for the Red Devils. It is now 19-16. And Shell will be taking over to serve for the Red Devils, hoping to at least tie it up, if not gain the lead here late in set number 2. Shell hits it over, kept up there by Fitzgerald. To the outside, Seibert over, kept up by Shell. Back to Heckman, the floater. Ball still in play. This one's hit outside, strong hit there. kept up by Gauna. Back, Company back, and that one is blocked by Overturf. The Red Devils do seem to be playing really well, but it seems that the Griffins have an answer for almost everything. They're just in the right spot at the right time as they lead 20-16.
Yeah, and that back row attack from Company is something that we've been seeing a lot more lately. And it's normally successful because people aren't expecting that. But unfortunately, I feel like this team, this Fontbonne team, they're just prepared for everything. That's
right. Harrop over, and once again, that is going to be Heckman who hits it out of bounds. So back-to-back plays off of Heckman to go out of bounds, and it is now 22-16 in favor of the Griffins. Harrop to serve once again. Shell able to keep that up. Crafton back to Shell, who floats it over. Kept up by Harrop. To the middle, and that one hit by Harple. A little bit too strong for this Red Devils defense here. And the Griffins getting their 23rd point of the second set. Harrop once again. Shell dives to keep it up and hits it over in the process. Oh, with a big, that was Seibert with a big hit. And that will be another point for the Griffins as they now are 1 point away from taking set number 2.
I believe that call was on Crafton, and she was in the net for the Red Devils.
Back to the outside. Heckman with the floater, unable to get that one to fall. Harrop once again. Big hit there by Kemphy, past O'Donoghue, and that'll conclude things for the second set as the Fontbonne Griffins take it 25-16. They now lead it 2-0. Both teams will switch sides on the court once again, and we're going to go to break. Stay tuned. You're watching Eureka Red Devils Volleyball here on ECTV.
The airwaves just got a refresh, and you need to spin your dial to 103.1 to find out. EC 103.1 is your latest and freshest option at your disposal, with the latest alternative rock hits, new personalities, and live sporting events at Eureka College. With an award-winning pedigree, EC 103.1 will quickly be the only thing you want to hear on your radio. Now on the FM airwaves and streaming globally on iHeartRadio. EC 103.1, your rock alternative.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Women are bad with money. That's what the world's been saying for centuries. But now, we've got something to say.
Save it. It's time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Until we're no longer 80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
Save it. The falsehoods, the feelings of fault.
Then, the funds. Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
When I never graduated from high school, I realized I wanted to go back to school because I didn't want to work these back-breaking jobs the rest of my life. With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed to come back to school. I felt accomplished, made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to ECTV as you are watching Eureka Red Devils Volleyball. So coming back from this break. The Griffins unfortunately took both sets, and Eureka, about to start this third set here, finds themselves behind, trying to keep their chances of winning this one alive. Obviously, they're going to have to win the next 3, but we have seen a few instances of a Red Devils comeback before, hoping to keep that alive here.
And I think a really big thing is what we have been talking about. We've talked about it a few times now in pre-games, is that communication that the Red Devils need to be having. And I feel like they're losing that communication, as well as they're losing that, the communication, and they're letting those free points come back. So I think that needs fixed.
Exactly, yeah. Unfortunately, the Griffins will start with the ball here in the third set. Kemphy, that one kept up by Company. Schaffner to Nagel outside. Too strong. So unfortunately, the Griffins do start off with the first point of set number 3. Kemphy hoping to continue that streak. Here's the serve. Over the net there, kept up by O'Donohue. Schaffner at the net, kept up by Company. This one to the outside. Seibert with the floater, kept up by Heckman. To the middle, floater there, kept in play. Schaffner to the outside. Heckman with a big hit. Fitzgerald able to keep that one up. Hitting it over is Kemphy. Schaffner to the middle. Barely able to get that one over. And that hit there by number 14, Jordan Harple, is a little bit too strong.
And you have to... Sorry, go ahead.
So for this Red Devils defense, so the Griffins now lead it 2-0 here in set number 3.
And you have to kind of admire Fontbonne's determination. They just keep going. We've seen balls on their side that look like they're not playable anymore, and they figure something out. They make it work.
That's right. I mean, like I said before, they have seemed to have an answer for almost everything the Red Devils have showed them up to this point. Good serve there by Kemphy, but a little bit too strong. Kemphy hoping to continue that. Griffins now lead it 3-1 here in the third set. Company able to keep that one in the air. Schaffner back to Company. Not sure how she keeps that. But actually, that is Harrop who hits that one out of bounds. What I was saying, I don't know how you can even keep a ball in the air when it comes from Alyssa Company. We've seen how successful and powerful she can be. I mean, it's the small wins, and that can be considered a small win for the Griffins. As Lyra Mattis serves that one over to the net. Company unable to get that one to fall. To the outside, Seibert blocked there, kept up. Harrop over O'Donohue to Schaffner. To the middle, Company kept up there by Kemphy. To the outside, Seibert once again. Schaffner keeps it in play. Lyra Mattis outside to Shell. To the middle, floater there. And that one saved by Lyra Mattis. Nagel unable to finish. Nagel outside the Shell. This is a great sequence here as Kemphy hits that one over. O'Donohue keeps it in play. Schaffner back to Shell. Floats it over. Kept in play. This one outside to Seibert. Nagel to Shell. Off the hands and it falls. So probably the longest sequence of the night. And that one's going to be a point for the Red Devils.
And a name that we've been saying a lot more than usual is Lexi Lyra-Mattis. She's been doing very well tonight.
Yeah, she has.
Between serves and digs, she's showing that she deserves to be there, especially on that defense that she's been playing.
That's right, really starting to make a name for herself down there. As the Red Devils gain another point, trailing by 1. Lyra Mattis to serve again, kept in the air by Kemphy. This one outside, Seibert. And it was blocked by Company, but it ended up falling out of bounds. So that's a point for the Griffins, 5-3. They lead it here in the third set as Maddie Bach, the sophomore, comes in for the Griffins to serve. Griffins only having 4 sophomores on their roster. Company with a big hit off the hands, and it falls. Another point for the Red Devils. 5-4, Griffins lead. Company, who is heavily involved in that last play, now taking over to serve. Line drive there, kept in the air. To Watson. Kept up by Lear Mattis. Schaffner able to keep it in play to the middle. Big hit there, and nobody is able to cover that hit by Harple. So the Griffins do get another point. 6-4, they lead it. Harple taking over to serve. Good serve there. Company digs it out. Schaffner dives. Lear Mattis going to have to hit it over, and she does. Called off there by Bach. To the middle, off of the hands of Company, and into the stands. So another point for Fontbonne. 7-4. They lead it. Crowd seems to be a little bit quiet here tonight. That's not typically what you like to see. Harple the serve, kept up there by Shell, a little too strong to hit it over. Schaffner back outside to Shell, who floats it over, and let's see, they call it inbounds at a point for the Red Devils.
And you know, I think the biggest thing about this crowd being quiet today is that we have seen the positives that come out of that crowd being engaged and being loud.
That's right. This one's going to be Beck to serve. Good serve there. This one's going to be kept up by Watson. Outside, Kemphy. O'Donohue dives to keep it up. Crafton. Lear Mattis calls it off. Hits it over. Kept in play by Bach. Lear Mattis dives to keep it up. Crafton outside to Shell with a big hit. Kept up there by Harrop. Outside once again to Og. O'Donohue dives to keep it in play. Off the net and off of the hands of Beck.
O'Donohue is another name that we've been saying a lot tonight, and I think that she's really been showing why she deserves to be wearing that libero jersey and that defensive specialist jersey.
That's right. A lot of diving plays for O'Donohue up to this point, as Crafton hits that one off of the hands of a couple of Fontbonne players, and it falls. Another point for the Red Devils as they trail 8-6 here in set number 3. This one is actually going to be Chloe Schaffner to serve. So we haven't seen a lot of her recently, but she does get that one over. Kept up by Chloe. O'Donohue to Heckman, kept up there. This one's back set. Big hit by Og. Diving is Beck. Heckman on the outside, big hit. And that one is a point for the Griffins. That one seemed to maybe be inbounds. Red Devils obviously wanted that point, but the ref's going to call that out of bounds, and it'll be a point for the Griffins. They now lead it 9-6.
And you can also see the frustration over there in that student section that they don't think that call should have been made that way.
Yeah, I agree. Heckman over, kept up by Harrop. To the outside, Kemphy with a big hit past the diving O'Donohue. Unfortunately, the Griffins are starting to add on, and the Red Devils will take a timeout there. And in this game, I mean, there haven't been that many mistakes from the Red Devils. They've been playing really clean volleyball. It's just, we keep talking about it. This Fontbonne team just seems to have an answer for everything that the Red Devils are throwing their way.
They really do, and you can tell that these girls have been playing together for a long time. Like we said, they're mostly made up of seniors and juniors. So seeing that chemistry that's coming from them, and you can tell that they've played together before and they play well together, it's kind of difficult to beat that.
That's right. And you know, there may be some extra motivation for this Fontbonne team knowing that their school is going to close down after this year.
Yeah.
I mean, this is their last year playing as a team together. Obviously, if you're Fontbonne, you want to make it as memorable as possible. And by doing that, you have to win games. And that's what they seem to be doing so far tonight.
And I think despite the Red Devils losing so far. They're 2-0. I think that we've seen some great plays out of some new people. I feel like a lot of the time it's Gauna and company we're talking about. I feel like we've been saying O'Donoghue's name a lot. We've been saying Lyra Mattis. We've been mentioning Schaffner. Like, everyone, it seems to be coming together and pulling it together, but just can't seem to beat them.
That's right. As that one's off the hands of Heckman, O'Donoghue almost ran into the scoring table. But that will be another point for the Griffins. 11-6, they lead it here in set number 3. Og continuing to serve. Laser of a serve there, kept up by Chloe Schaffner. Heckman to Gauna in the middle, who just floats it over. Outside to Watson. This one hit over by Seibart. Chloe. And that one isn't going to fall. I believe that was Gauna to get that one down. So the Red Devils do gain another point. 11-7, they trail as O'Donoghue gets ready to serve for the Red Devils. O'Donoghue with a big serve. Back set there, Rhodes. Excuse me, that was Kemphy. And that's going to be another point for the Griffins. So 12-7. I mean, if you're the Red Devils, it's really hard to stay in this game. You're already down 2 sets. You know, not a lot of motivation, it seems, from up here. As Nagel hits that one outside. Company too strong. Another point for the Griffins. And they now lead at 13-7 here in the third set.
And again, we talk about that fan section a lot, as well as the just fans who are here in general. And if they're not giving any energy, I don't think that helps with the energy that's coming off the court.
Yeah, I agree. They haven't been heavily involved here tonight. And that one hit out of bounds by the Red Devils. Another point for the Griffins. But back to what I was saying, the fans haven't been heavily involved. And, I mean, you can see the disappointment on some of their faces. But at the same time, half of it is on them to cheer on their team, which they haven't been doing tonight. This one to the outside. Cyber hits it over. O'Donoghue dives to keep it up again. But unfortunately, Nagel gets in the way of Company, who seemed to have called that off, but got that one taken away from her. So another point for the Griffins. 15-7, they lead it. Chloe Schaffner in the air. Nagel outside to Company. Floater kept up by Harrop. To the middle. Diving. Nagel keeps it in play. O'Donoghue to the outside, and Heckman unable to get that one down. So Fontbonne now leads it 16-7 here in the third set, and they're really starting to pull away here. We talked about how their last game against Blackburn, they won in 3 straight sets. Looking to do the same thing here. Nagel unable to get that one over. Another point for the Griffins. So Brooklyn Shells back in for Chloe Schaffner, who, as we said before, we haven't seen her playing quite a few games.
Yeah, which is shocking because she did very well.
In that first game.
Yeah, the first game.
And that one's going to be another point for the Griffins. Unfortunately, they are now up 18-7. This one's going to be Emma Harrop to serve for the Fontbonne. Harrop to O'Donoghue. Nagel back sets the Company in the air. Still, that one, Seibert outside. Kraft unable to keep it up, and Heckman, maybe some miscommunication. Wasn't expecting that one to come to her. And by the time she realized it, it was a little bit too late. So another timeout taken by the Red Devils as Fontbonne leads at 19-7 here in the third set.
So you mentioned this earlier, the Alyssa Company, she normally gets that ball down, and then when it goes down, it's staying down. And shockingly, this Fontbonne team has found a way to read every one of her hits and where it's going to go and who needs to be ready for it. So I think that is kind of killing the Red Devils here, is they're so used to having that opportunity to just use Company and put that ball down. But Fontbonne knows that's what they're going to do.
That's right. And from my perspective, I haven't been seeing a lot of motivation, even from the very first set. They got down by a lot pretty early, and it just seemed like it seems like they don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it too. Obviously, you can always say there's next game tomorrow night, next is the next game, but at the same time, you don't just want to throw games like these away, especially when if you do lose, that means that you're going to drop in the SLIAC standings.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, especially those conference games, like those should be the ones that you are wanting to, even if you're down 2-0, you want to go to 5 sets to try and win it.
That's right.
So seeing that kind of just like, they've just kind of given up.
That's right.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah. And another point for the Griffins there, as that one was hit out of bounds by Crafton on that last play. So Harrop going to continue to serve. Good serve there. Kept in play by Shell. Heckman gets blocked there. Heckman in front of Nagel gets that one over to the outside. Seibert over blocked. And finally the Red Devils have another point. They still trail 20-8. But yeah, we were talking prior to the game. I had an interview with Coach Bogart, and one of the things she said was one of the main goals for this Red Devils team this year is obviously to be one of those teams higher up in those SLIAC standings and have that kind of conference superiority. And that's the main goal. So that's what the Red Devils are working towards. And that's why, it is going to hurt when you tend to lose games like these that are really important and crucial to those standings. Schaffner to Shell, who hits it over. Big hit there, able to fall. So another point for the Griffins, and it is now 22-8. So at this point, the Red Devils doing anything they can to keep their hopes of winning this one alive. As we mentioned, they're already down 2 sets, so they'd have to make a very, very large comeback here and win the next 2. Hit over there, Company in the air, and some miscommunication between O'Donohue and Shell. It looked like Schaffner, who was at the net, had to run all the way back to even try to get to that ball.
So you do have that a lot in volleyball, that setter, she's trying to get that second hit because that's what you want ideally. But I feel like at this point in the game, it should just be whoever's there, just get the ball, call it as mine. And we're not seeing that.
That's right. As on that last play, Company with a big hit to get that one down. Lyra Mattis comes in for Heckman. Lyra Mattis been serving really well all game. Floats it over there. Kept up to the middle, and nobody's covering that area. So Fontbonne leads it 24-9. And they are 1 point away from winning this one in 3 straight sets. Good serve there, kept up by Shell. Schaffner back sets the Company, kept up by Harrop. Bach in the air, and that'll do it as Og able to find a space. So the final here in set number 3, 25-9. So unfortunately, the Red Devils, after this loss, will fall in the SLIAC standings, and that'll just about do it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. On behalf of our crew, I'm Matthew Swan.
And I'm Ella Walker.
And so the next game is going to be tomorrow night for Eureka against Monmouth at 7 p.m. But as for now, that'll wrap things up here. Thank you for watching Eureka Red Devils Volleyball here on ECTV.